Okay, hi everybody and welcome to this video on solving linear equations part 2. Please make sure that you've watched the first video, especially if you don't know how to solve linear equations at all. So I would encourage you to take this time to just pause the video and attempt these questions before we go through them together. So the first one is 3x is equal to 1. Now, in this video, the x has a coefficient. So before the power was 1, so we just needed to get x by itself by adding or subtracting whatever was with the x. But in this case, the coefficient is not 1. So we would like to get x by itself, and how we would do that is by getting rid of the coefficient. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide both sides by 3. Or whatever the coefficient is. So we'll divide the one side by 3 and then the other side by 3. So the rule of equations is whatever you do to the one side, you have to do to the other side in order for the equation to remain true. So what we have done here by dividing by 3 is now the 3's cancel out and we are left with just x on the left-hand side, and then 1 divided by 3 is a third. Let us look at another example. So this here is 2x minus 1 is equal to 3. Over here, what we're going to first have to do is get the 2x by itself. So we're going to have to get this 1 away, and we do that by taking it over to the other side, and when we take it over, the sign changes. So this here is 2x is equal to 3. That 3 is still there. And then the 1, when we take it over, its sign changes to plus 1. So if we simplify this, we have 2x is equal to 4. Now we would like to get rid of the coefficient of 2, and we will do that by dividing both sides by 2. So now let us simplify it. In this case over here, the x cancels out with the x, leaving us just with x. And then 4 divided by 2 is simply 2. So that is the second solution. Let us look at the third example. So the third example, we have 5x minus 1 is equal to 19. Again, we would first like to get rid of this minus 1 by taking it over. So we're going to have 5x, and the 19 on that side would stay the same, but the 1 that we're taking over, its sign will change to positive 1. So we have 5x is equal to 20, and dividing both sides by 5, we can then get x by itself, and then we get that x is equal to 20 divided by 5, which is 4. Let us look at number 4. So we have 4x plus 3 is equal to 2. So again, we first would like to get rid of the 3, which is added. So 4x, the 2 on the side remains the same, and the 3 that gets transformed, that gets moved over, the sign changes to minus 3. So we have 4x is equal to minus 1. Then we would like to get rid of the 4. So what we're going to do is divide both sides by 4. And then the 4's cancel out, and we have just x. And on this side, we have minus a quarter. If you wanted to, you could write that as a decimal. Number 5, we have 2x plus 4 is equal to minus 8. Again, we're going to take over that 4. So the minus 8 stays the same because we haven't moved it. But this plus 4, when we take it over to the other side, it becomes negative 4. So the 2x is equal to negative 8 minus 4 is minus 12. And then we're going to divide both sides by 2. And we get over here x is equal to, and minus 12 divided by 2 is minus 6. Let's have a look at number 6. So number 6 is 4 minus x is equal to 6. For this one over here, we're going to do the same thing by taking the 4 over. Please be aware that the minus belongs to the x. So we have minus x is 6, and when we take the 4 over, it becomes negative. So we have minus x being equal to 6 minus 4, which is 2. Now, x is not positive. We want the x to just be x. And how do we get rid of a negative? Is we divide both sides by minus 1. So when we divide both sides by minus 1, this minus x, the negatives cancel out, and then we get an x. And 2 divided by minus 1 is minus 2. Moving on to number 7, we have minus x minus 1 is equal to 2. Again, let us first move this 1 over. So we get minus x is 2 plus 1. And then minus x is equal to 3. Again, we have x being negative. So in this case, we want to divide by a minus 1 on both sides. Minus x divided by minus 1 is x. And 3 divided by minus 1 is minus 3. Number 8, we have minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 16. So always, always, always get rid of the plus and minus and get the x term alone before you do any dividing. So we're going to then have minus 3x is equal to 16. And when we take over that minus 1, it becomes minus 1. So we have minus 3x is equal to 15. And we would like to get rid of the minus 3. So here we're going to divide both sides by minus 3. The x, those minus 3's then cancel out, and we get x all by itself. And 15 divided by minus 3 is minus 5. 2 more examples to do. So number 9 is 12 minus 2x is equal to 6. So again, let us take this 12 over. So we have minus 2x is equal to 6 minus 12. When we take it over, the sign changes. So this is minus 2x is equal to minus 6, 6 minus 12. And then once again, we divide both sides by the negative 2 to get x by itself. And minus 6 divided by minus 2 is positive 3. The last question is 12x plus 4 is equal to 3. So 12x is equal to 3, and then we take the 4 over to get the 12x by itself, and it becomes minus 4. 12x is equal to then minus 1, and then again we're going to divide both sides by 12 to get the x by itself, and what we're going to then get is x is equal to minus 1 over 12. Please make sure that you have understood all steps of this part 2. So in this part, we had a look at solving for equations when there was a coefficient for x, and the trick to that was to divide both sides by the coefficient once we've got it by ourselves, and then we have our simplified answer. If you had less than 5 out of 10, please go back to part 1 or review other parts of your maths like integers. If you got greater than 5, that is good, and you can proceed to the next video where we look at more complicated linear equations.